How's it handed, manga guys? I'm back with my video. Reviewing the first ever arc of the original Yu-Gi-Oh manga. Now, if you're not familiar with this, I'll get to an explanation why this manga is short-lived. And you're wondering how Yu-Gi-Oh is so popular. There's a reason. Now, I read this manga on the Shonen Jump app. You can watch that. Sorry. So yeah, I read this on the Shonen Jump app where you could read new and Shonen manga posted shown by the company. You know, some of the digital exclusives are not published in Weekly Shonen Jump itself, published on the Shonen Jump app. So those are digital releases, so I don't think they have physical copies. They probably do, as released in Japan. Which is a great way for Westerners to experience Shonen Jump. Because Shonen Jump never released in the UK in a way. It did release English translations in the US. But they stopped a couple of years ago, exactly. Like how their Super Sentai project was cancelled in North America. It was only in North America, by the way. So the UK didn't get a chance to watch Super Sentai. Wait for us to watch Super Sentai is like on YouTube. If you know another way, let me know down below. Also, I rebranded my anime movies channel to Tokyo Gamer, which actually sounds pretty cool. It's where published, is where review games is made entirely by a Japanese company. Including games that looks that's more side of the Western styles like Devil May Cry and Resident Evil. So people will notice as well on that channel, even though my main channel is called Resident Gamer. Well. Right. Alright, Life is Strange does not count as a Japanese game. It's more Japanese French. It was a co-production between two different companies. So, but My Strange series is mainly created by Don't Not Entertainment for Life is Strange 1 and 2 mainline games. But any spin-offs or prequels are done by Deck 9, like Life is Strange Before the Storm and Life is Strange True Colors. So you get the point. Alright, enough about games. I'm talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, as you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is one of the mega popular card game franchises out there. Not only games, TV, anime, show, many anime, cards, spin-offs, all types of stuff. Since the anime first came out, was when it came to the West by 4Kids TV. But I will not get to that. I want to say review the anime first. I want to be entirely a Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist. Sorry, original Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga. Not mean for that. So yeah. So you won't get confused. I know about what the manga calls it. So yeah, series that focus the series we know that the anime adapts on. It's called Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist. Anyway, Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga ran 59 chapters from 1996 to 1997, I think. I don't know. But yeah. It received an anime adaptation named Season 0 by the fans. And I actually do want to check that out before reviewing the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. Yeah, besides, so I don't have, like, Shin Crunchyroll won't put it on there. They didn't have nearly all the Yu-Gi-Oh! Seasons on there. Minus 7s and Go Rush. It's weird. Like, they won't officially sub it because it's well known in the West. But it's also marketable towards all audiences too. Oh, seriously, seriously, they actually, Konami doesn't realize, but there's actually marketability for not just kids for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game, but for teens as well. For anyone who, because it's not just for kids, anyone can play it. Hell, there are adults playing it. So the market is increased. So might that would be a good chance to release uncut dubs. You'll still you'll still get the chance to openly sell the cards to an older audience, you know? Like we will package the original Japanese cards. We'll also add English translations onto it as well. So yeah, like seriously, it's markability. The reason Konami won't do an uncut dub because it's not marketable. But even though we're in the time when anime is not censored these days, like we're in a time when it's not cut, when it's not censored. Like think of all the uncut anime we got. Well, we got the Digimon Adventure trilogy, movies that are more get towards an older audience. We also grew up the original Digimon, counting out the characters, giving the characters a satisfying ending. For a film series called Try. There are plenty of them. 6 out now, actually, in the UK. I should collect more, actually. Only got 2. Enough about that. Anyway, uh, so yeah, the series focuses on Yugi Muto, a young high school boy who looks like he's not the same height as Koichi. He was saying JoJo's was our adventure. I see. That makes total sense when you think about it. Because Kazuki Takahashi must have took a lot of inspirations from other manga, but one of the biggest inspirations was JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, mainly Stardust Crusaders. Both parts of Part 3, you know, the world art, well, each multiple episode's title is an arc, in a way. For some reason, don't ask. Anyway, you can Stone Ocean is actually available on UK Shonen Jump app, so you can give that a read. So if you want to see what's gonna happen in the anime before it comes out sometime later this year, man, I so hard. Problem is, you have to wait for these anime. I suppose Netflix picking it up. Like just get a regular anime streaming app to have it, like Crunchyroll Funimation, Scratch Funimation. As I said, there's a whole detailed explanation of it. But Takahashi obviously took inspiration from the Darby brothers. Most of the concepts are ideas inspired by JoJo, but also took a little inspiration from the Darby brothers story arcs in Part 3. I will review Part 3 myself on the anime channel, but during the journey, at this point Kakyoin was not with them, we get a main character running into a stand user named Darby who works with Dio. His dad's able to collect souls. Darby is a gamer, in a way. He does any type of way to he even cheats. Basically, if you lose in a game, he knows about like games, but they have different ways. There's actually more detailed explanations for that. It's actually not just this. Basically, those two who got inspiration from Takahashi's creation of Yu-Gi-Oh, which probably translates to Killer Games. To say Yuki is an ordinary high school boy, the guy who gets bullied. He likes to play games because his grandpa, Suguro Moto, runs a game shop. His childhood friend is Anzu Misaki, or Ted Gardner in the Western times. Also, in the original manga, Yugi is a bit provocative, but those ditched later chapters. Like, I think it only appeared in 2 chapters where Yugi's fabulous. And you see the manga style is slightly different to the Yu-Gi-Oh we know today. He was being bullied by Katsuya Janucci and Honda, whose lot name Can't remember. That's why I was looking. That's why I was trying to look for the book, but I can't find it. I don't know where it's disappeared to. Alright, Junichi and Honda have been best friends since middle school. And they always picked on Yugi. I guess the way Yugi's innocent really pisses Junichi off. Anyway, Yugi was given a special box by his grandfather called the Millennium Puzzle. He's been trying to solve it for 8 years. And the people who found that puzzle in the first place died under mysterious circumstances. Now, the main anime we know today did not show this from sadly. It would be nice to have an entire origin story. And again, they just probably rushed it. I did not want that. Anyway, anyway, one day, Junichi sneak after being catchy, being in the middle with Yugi's Millennium Puzzle, roll it to Honda, and Honda won it back. Anzus comes in. Alright, Junichi and Honda run on as Joey and Tristan in the dub. You know, Joey Wheeler, Tristan Taylor, Taylor Gardner. The 4 kids really came up with these names. And yet, for some reason, they always kept Yugi's name the same. Don't ask me why. Like, I have no clue. Why did I keep the name the same if it's Japanese? That always bugged me a bit. Like, even though Judai's name was changed, his last name wasn't. I don't understand. That just bugs me a bit, though. Why did 4Kids not change the name of the protagonist when any other characters' names were changed? Also, anyway, there's also another type of bullying in school in Ushio, the hall monitor. He abuses his power. As I said, Junichi snuck out a piece of the Millennium Puzzle and threw it into the river without Yugi knowing. Anyway, Ushio beats them up, but Yugi stands up and saying that they're his friends. I guess that really, and Yugi took a beating from them, which opened up Junichi's eyes to him, knowing that Yugi's not a bad guy. Now, Yugi almost opened the puzzle. It's missing one piece, but realizes it's gone. But Tsukuroto, lost Solomon in the dub. So they changed his name, but not Yugi's. That always bugs me. Also, no, I ain't gonna mention that. Anyway, he tells Yugi that he wasn't told him that someone was bound peace because he didn't tell him the name of the person, which was Junichi. After Yugi put the puzzle together, some type of power awakens, and some type of confident personality, because his eyes is different. Now you know this guy is Yami Yugi. Yami being Japanese for dark. But as you know in the main series, he's taller than Yugi. And when the character in the original when the character in the original manga was actually Yugi's height. Because again, the character wasn't really supposed to be anything still. It was a mystery. You could say he's like a personality Yugi. On the more confident side, he punches those for their wicked deeds. So he challenges Ushio to a shadow game. He doesn't really call it that, but we call him shadow. But it's easy to call him a shadow game. Well, if Ushio loses, a penalty game happens. With Yugi manages to come up on top. Like, this was changed in season 0 slightly. But I'll get to that when I actually review that anime. Anyway, and after that, Yugi and Junichi became friends. Now, Hondo did not appear until made a cameo in one chapter, but did not get a significant story role until chapter 7. So yeah, chapter 7 was a great idea, actually. See, it took its time. We know Honda didn't pay much. We know he doesn't really trust Yugi, even though Junichi does. Junichi's also a bit pervy. Yeah, chapter 7's when the change. So anyway, Junichi tells Yugi about what Honda's problem. He's in love with a girl named Miho, who, some reason, now I woke up, I want to know more about this actually, what the reason was. Somehow, Miho, a one-time character, was just put into season 0 as a main character for some reason. Like, I do not know what they were thinking. I can't be able to balance out the cast. Look at other shonen by Saint Seiya, right? That came out in the 1980s. And they did not ask for a female saint. Even though they already have one female character, they did not ask for a female saint. Because it'll be wrong. But then again, Toy did that anyway these days in 2020. I'm dealing with a mean teacher. Johnny Honda had a crush on Miho, which actually kind of stuck into season 0. Look at that, people. But again, Miho falls on the only appeared in chapter 7. That's it. But and Honda got rejected by her later. But things changed between them. He started to trust Yugi. Because Yugi stood up for him too. Showing how much Yugi's a good person and a reliable friend. Some more episodic adventures happen. But it's chapters 9 and 10 that things start to become more interesting. Why, you may ask? Well, this is the part I'm going to explain why the manga ran for 59 chapters. That is one word. 2 words. Dual monsters. Yep, the card game made its debut in chapters 9 and 10, which is a 2-parter. And this was just a one-time game created by Takahashi. And some of its explanations are different to what we know today. But it makes sense because this was his creation. It was supposed to be a one-time thing. It's also notable introducing primary antagonist in the manga, which, well, I'll get to a bit later because when he's mentioned next in the late chapters, in chapters 24 and 20, in chapters 24 and 25, is Seto Kaiba. You know him with Blue Eyes White Dragon. Now, the plot of this manga was slightly reused in the main anime, the Monsters anime, which took elements into episode 1, but changes a few things. But I'll go over that when I actually review the anime. I want you to let you know that, so I'm not going to cover them here. So yeah, basically Kaiba stole Yugi's grandpa's card, the Blue Eyes White Dragon. And after Yugi discovers that, he ends up challenging Sharp. He ends up in a shadow game with Kaiba and wins. Even though it wasn't like the Yu-Gi-Oh! We know today, that was the earliest example of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game. Now then, after this chapter came out, but this won't come up again until chapters 24 and 25. There's some good chapters too. Basically, Yugi going for it. Anyway, after some more episodic adventures, Yugi ends up running to another character who drastically changed the main anime, Mokuba Kaiba. Now, Mokuba's personality is different in the manga. That he was like his brother, a lunatic, an asshole. So he ends up challenging Yugi to a game of Capture Monsters. Now, you know that sounds familiar, right? This was used in... This was used in the Walking's original story arc, the Capture Monsters arc. And they attempt to create a spin-off. This was 4Kids' idea. not the anime, not the studio that created the anime. Yeah, it was 4Kids' idea. Well, doesn't say the studio didn't have any hand on creating original card. Tried through their own spin-off once before, the Dungeon Dice Monsters arc. Yes, slightly changing the anime because of how dark the manga was. Yeah, it was quite dark. I'll cover that when I review the Duelist Kingdom arc. After Yugi beats Mukaba, he tells him that Sato Kaiba once tells him that this won't be the last time. It's not over. Kaiba will be back for revenge. Sato Kaiba saying his plan is something called Death Tea, which Sword mentioned in the final chapter of the arc. Chapter 25 was interesting because there was no because it wasn't Yugi doing the shadow game this time. But it wasn't a shadow game at all. Basically, and they get weapons to Bruce Lee too. Um. So yeah, Yugi ends up beating another guy in a video game multiple times. But then I beats the crap out of Yugi for winning. So loser. And steals the Millennium Puzzle. Junichi sees Yugi injured. And he's told what happened. So he goes after the guy. The guy challenges him to a game. Junichi has sex no matter how risky it was to get. And with quick thinking, Junichi wins. This is actually the first time we see Junichi ever do a game. But this proves the character is helpful. Still his best worst friend. I like that how he's doing this for his friend. I think he gave him that time. So yeah, yes. So he gets the puzzle back. I like that. Shinichi is a good friend. But anyway, that's the end of the chapter and the arc. Now I didn't talk much about it because it's mainly episodic. I just touched on the main chapters, but I'll give you a reason. As I said, Duel Monsters was the reason why the original manga was 59 chapters. Because after chapters 9 and 10 was published, fans kept writing in about when they're going to expand more on the Duel Monsters aspect. So, Takahashi decided to do something. He realized he had a hill in his head. Start preparing for the next arc. That involves the card game to expand, flesh it out more. And well, I don't know how many arcs this original manga had, but all the way to chapter 59. So I don't know how long the FT, but let's say more likely the FT arc, which is the next arc. So yeah, I guess the card game becomes so popular just get manga that just already did some original games as well. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoy my content, hit the thumbs up button. Want to see more? Subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell. So all videos that comes out in the future. I'm gonna be doing a Yu Yu Hakusho anime review on the final arc of season 1. On the final arc of the saga. The Rescue Yukina saga, which is only 4 episodes. So go subscribe to my anime channel, Gil Phoenix, and stay tuned for it. Alright, thank you guys. I'll see you all next time. Kyosuke out.